Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Phantom.Strategies. So let's cover Bitcoin morning here, Eastern time in US, 9:55 a.m. S&P 500 and Nasdaq just opened up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. They are looking just minor pullback in them. Nothing too major, just a minor pullback, but we can come back to that later. But let's talk about Bitcoin real quick. So we have been talking about the resistance points in Bitcoin around 11,700. That is right at that initial push that we had a couple of weeks ago. Since then, we had this minor retracement, a push up higher. We came almost to that 11,700 mark, and now we're getting a small retracement. One thing that I did not like is we were piercing the support line that's coming all the way from the lows that we made in February. So we have pierced that line on the downward side, and now we are trying to get over it and trying to see if we can get past it. Okay, and one thing that we are getting the support right now, like a bare minimum support, is that 20-day moving average. That is very critical. The 20-day moving average in short term, a lot of the traders, a lot of the day traders, they watch that 20-day moving average as a gauge to get in and out of the trades. So please be very mindful of those those moving average. There is a lot of support on the downward side, so there's no flooring. There's plenty of support on the downward side, but we want to make sure that we remain healthy and we remain on the upward momentum. So right now here it's just trying to push it barely over that 20-day moving average. Let's look at the Before I go into the smaller time frame, let's talk about the inverse head and shoulder. I want to touch base on that real quick. So we have spotted the inverse head and shoulder pattern for a while now, and what inverse head and shoulder pattern is, it's a bullish pattern, but it's not bullish until it breaks the neckline. So neckline is right around that 11,700, and we need to break that neckline on upward momentum in order to follow through on that bullish pattern. Okay, it's a very strong pattern. Inverse head and shoulder is a very strong pattern. Back in 2008, 2009, when the S&P 500 created that bottom, we had the inverse head and shoulder pattern on the monthly. On the weekly. We had it on the weekly, not on the monthly. I still remember that because I was glued to my monitors. Back then I was just mainly trading commodities and exchange futures, and some equities as well, and some options. But then I still remember that it was one of the biggest event in my trading history, and I have been trading since early 2000. So I have seen the highs, I have seen the lows, I have seen all the good, ugly, and worse things that you can imagine in the market. In crypto and in other crypto is a very new market, and this is a very new market. But in other more traditional market, I have been part of that, the good, ugly, the bad, and whatever you want to call that. So I remember vividly that we had this huge drop, and then we made that inverse head and shoulder pattern on the weekly time frame back then. And it's a very strong pattern, but we need to make sure. Usually what happens is around this arena, during this the shoulder creation, the right shoulder creation, a lot of the volume drops out. A lot of the volume starts to drop out, and people, a lot of people start to question things that, hey, I'm not seeing the volume, there's not enough volume. So that question do come in mind, especially when the volume drops off. But that volume is dropping is because a lot of more conservative, more non-believers who are still on the sideline right now, and they're just watching it until it breaks. A lot of longer term investors and institutional traders, they're watching this pattern and they won't get in until this pattern breaks. That's the rule they set for themselves. So they won't get into the market until that neckline breaks. All right. So keep those things in mind. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, but we need to remain over the 20-day moving average and the support level of around 10,300. Okay, those are some key areas that we really need to stay over in order to have the stronger momentum toward the upside. Okay, let's look at the 4-hour, the shorter time frame. So going up, we will have all this resistance that we were getting the support from. Now they will act as a resistance going up. Simple as that. So we have to get through those resistance on the moving average, on the trend line. They will act as a resistance because they were acting as a support previously. So all right, I wanted to quickly cover the news. Let's look at the headline news. I come to CoinDesk because I have said it before. They are more bearish. They have more negative news about crypto in general than a lot of other cryptocurrency news site. And I was thinking about it. What is the reason why CoinDesk have a lot of more the FUD news, fear, uncertainty, and doubt kind of news on their website? And it really struck me as because the news media, they get a lot of hits. They get a lot of clicks and hits, and people come on the site for the negative news. So think about it. When there is a major panic in the market or in the world event, what is the first thing you do? You go on CNN, or you go on maybe Fox News, or you go on CNBC or BBC. First thing you go and look at those news, right? So it's create that for them, for Coinbase, it's a great thing because they're getting so many hits on their site, on their news article. And then it strikes me they are just getting started, and they do want this kind of this negative headlines, this not so good looking headlines are good for their website. And some of them are just completely bullshit. It's completely should it be ever even be a front page news? It's ex-CFTC chief. Even Republicans are pushing for, who cares about the ex-chief? Is that a really front headline news? Is that really worth mentioning on their front page? Yes, regulations are good for crypto. I said that previously. I'm in favor of regulations. That will bring a lot of trust into the market. But it's one of those things. Litecoin hits 12-day low and fall below 200. Is this a really major news? Really? I mean, I highly question their ability to produce a good content. So I think and it really ties back to what I was trying to say before, that having this kind of news gives them more clicks on their website. All right. That being said, I will still keep on coming to CoinDesk. The reason I want to come to CoinDesk is because I want to be aware of how many negative news there are in the market, and I want to analyze those things, and that will give me a better gauge on, hey, is the negative outweighing the positives, or vice versa, right? So you still wanna check it out. You still wanna look it up, but people, they need to do a media, especially the digital media, they need to do a better job of producing good content rather than just throwing some headline like Litecoin hits 12-day low and falling below $200. I mean, is that a good content? No, it's not a good content. Is that worth? I mean, there are so many other things that you can put in than that. So I think they really need to think about what kind of content they want to produce for their user, or they just want to in the market to produce the FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and just get the hits on that, because that's how it looks like right now. That's what they're trying to do. So yeah, be very mindful of these things, because that's how they are getting money, right? They're getting money. The more traffic that comes onto Coinbase, that's how they are paying their bills. So that's the reality, okay? And that's how they get the ad revenues. So more negative news, more traffic will come. All right. People don't really care about it. If it's the positive news, people ignore those positive news. It's a human psychology thing. People tend to just ignore the positives, like everything is great, we're in like la la land, everything is nice and rosy. But people tend to pay more attention when there are negative news. Same thing with the like global events, global market. So yeah, keep those things in mind. Let's cover Litecoin. Before I wrap it up, I wanted to cover Litecoin. So BTC again. Let's like BTC. We really need to stay over that 10,300 mark. On the daily, we are barely getting over that 20-day moving average. We shouldn't be going in this sideways action for too long. Otherwise, people who got in earlier enough, they will start questioning their trade, and they might be starting to get out of the trade rather than like holding on to it for longer. Okay, so that's for Bitcoin. I will be watching it. We are still in that zone right now where they're just trying to figure out how we need to move forward. Okay, let's look at Litecoin real quick. I'm gonna go back to the daily. Daily. Okay, so again, 190 levels is a very good holding point for Litecoin. It's taking the support from 190, 188. So yes, there is a trade. Yeah, there is a trade on Litecoin. I would use this 190 level as a gauge to make the trade and get in and out of Litecoin. Keep it simple, right? You do not trust any bounce in the market until we get out of that 11,700 zone in Bitcoin convincingly. All right, any bounce that we see right now, I will be skeptical of that bounce. Yes, that bounce can go higher, definitely can go higher, but would I be like chasing it? No, because I mean there will be plenty of opportunities. I wouldn't want to chase it. I don't want to until I get the good confirmation that we have all clear. I would rather make those smaller trades. I get in at low, get out at make like maybe 3-4% profit, get out. Maybe have retracement, get in again, get 3-4% profit, get out. Make the smaller trades. Those smaller trades will add up much faster than you think. So don't try to hit the home run on every trade. Sometimes if you try to hit home run on every trade, you'll get striked out. All right. So going back to all my English fan, all the UK, I see there are a lot of there's a lot of people from United Kingdom who follow the channel. There are a lot of people from Netherlands actually who also follow the channel, and so it's like cricket, right? If you're in cricket, if you try to hit 6 on every single ball, you probably will get caught out or will get bowled, right? So you want to strike, you don't want to get striked out. You want to rotate your strike. You want to make sure you're doing the rotation. And right now, this is the strategy. Sometimes we do want to strike. We want to go for those 6, those big hits. Sometimes you want to just rotate. So be an adaptive trader. Be an agile investor, so you can get in and out of the market pretty fast. You have that ability. You have all the tools now. You have mobile phone, you have computers, laptops. It's not those traditional days where once you buy in, you are stuck with that for 6 months. So use the technology in your favor to make those trades. Use your risk management properly. So that will really help you in your investing, in your trading. And next thing you know, this becomes your second nature, and this is like the more you do it, the better you get at it. Nobody wakes up and become like perfect, with their like strategies and with the risk management. But the more you do it, you will get more ideas, and you get better at it. It's just the repetitive task. It just comes with the experience. You can't just it's like before you start running, you have to crawl, you have to walk, and then you start running, right? You can't just start running or you will just fall. So same thing, you need to start with small things and then move on to the bigger things. All right, so that's being said, let me know if you have any questions. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, hit those notifications, those bell icons, so you get this content right away. I post them every day. I will be doing some altcoins later in the day today. If you think this is helping you to investing with your trading, please give me a thumbs up. That really means a lot, and I will talk to you soon. All right, thank you.